Going for the Disruptor again. Now Neon.Atomic. This is where they either shake things up or continue with what they want. I guess that's the discussion that they're going with right now. Is there a carry hero we can swap the Faceless Void for? If Scotty is giving suggestions. Or if they want to see if they can change things around with the matchups a little bit. Are they going to try for a hero that would allow them to swap the lanes, for example? We haven't seen a lot of tri-lane first blood attempts. CK would definitely be a hero that could easily get himself a good start if they stack up with 3 heroes and go for the quick kill. And have your offlaner soloing in the lane for a bit. But these are some pretty frisky picks. Mars Willow is a good combo. And the CK Silencer is a very good combo. They have some very strong lanes on Neon.Atomic now.
Yeah, Neon again have strong lanes, for sure. Though with the Dark Willow, the thing is a little bit different than with the Snapfire because you're a bit more reliant on how you use your spells. Connecting the cookie on the Snap is easy. Connecting the Bramble Maze on the Dark Willow isn't super hard, but it's not as easy as connecting the cookie. But you have the Mars, so you're gonna be pushing people in. Okay, this is just a beautiful approach from Unity Gaming. Tidehunter here is a perfect hero. Like all of these heroes of Neon.Atomic, they hate playing against the Tide at any point in the game. And again, you know, it might not be the Slardar, but it's still some minus armor going the way of Neon.Atomic, and all of their heroes, just like in the last game, are struggling in terms of armor.
Tidehunter great in the laning matchup. The minus armor application, like you kind of already touched upon, works nicely with the Tusk. You can blow up these supports even faster. Even if Slardar was a big hero, Gush and Deso Tusk are very good together. And then you have this team fight threat with the Ravage. He's very tanky against everything that's going up against him currently. And armor can be a solution against the CK if he wants to take that approach. But it doesn't have to. It doesn't necessarily have to go for it because all the damage that is applied to him should constantly proc his passive, so he should always be able to Ravage.
For sure. I still think Neon.Atomic might need to focus on targeting the Tide. This Tide is just way too good of a pick. He needs to die multiple times in the early mid game, in the mid game as well. I wouldn't even be surprised if Unity Gaming... Oh, Doom is already banned out. Okay, I have no solutions for this Tide, actually. I think Neon.Atomic are already outdrafted because of this pick. This is looking problematic for them. I'm trying to find a hero that's gonna help them with it. Maybe put the Mars mid, CK offlane, and get like an Ursa, a Monkey King. I don't know. This hero has to suffer.
Yeah, if they went for another melee core for Neon.Atomic, usually those are the ones that counter the Tidehunter, or at least make his laning a little bit difficult. If you worry about the minus armor, Monkey King is in the pool. You could swap things around a little bit. Maybe even put the Mars mid instead of offlane.
Yep. Mars mid, CK offlane.
Oh, the monkey. They banned the Monkey King themselves. I was like, okay.
So they probably want the CK to be in the safe lane. They're gonna go for a mid laner. The thing that they're missing is that guy who's gonna be finishing people off. Something that again is gonna be benefiting from the Silencer Veil potentially. Puck is still a good option. I wouldn't hate it. It's pretty much the same as in the last time. And considering that you're not playing against the Slardar, less things to catch you. So pushing out those waves isn't gonna be too hard. And yeah, Neon.Atomic again will have issues with pushing out the waves.
So what do you think about Sniper? What do you think about OD?
I actually think yeah, no, Sniper wouldn't be good for Unity Gaming. OD, okay, that is a Tidehunter counter, somewhat. You do a lot of damage to him. You have some catch with the Mars, but they don't push out the waves. They just don't. This time around, the Unity Gaming, they don't have that fast-paced lineup that they did. Even though only one hero changed, Tidehunter is just a completely different beast than the Slardar. But yeah, I'm not sure how you deal with everything getting pushed out all the time. Dawnbreaker is banned out. It would be a beastly Dawnbreaker game for Unity for sure.
Yeah, Dawn could be spicy. I was thinking the Sniper for Atomic, but then they went for the OD pick. Sniper also kind of risky with the Tusks and the Tidehunters. But it could maybe have worked. However, it does look like they're going for the standard approach of Mars offlane, mid OD, safe lane CK. Unity Gaming, gonna go for the Juggernaut. Jug has been quite commonly picked against all these magical controlling heroes, Dark Willow, and especially the Mars. You can spin out of the arena, so I wonder if this Juggernaut is going to pay off for MKS.
Yeah, I think it is. You buy a Manta, you can get out of every single thing that Neon.Atomic can throw at you. None of the Neon.Atomic heroes are good against the Jug per se. Chaos Knight can be, but when there's a Tidehunter in play, isn't really that great. You have solid physical damage to deal with the OD, something he doesn't like. Once he gets a BKB, you have a BKB piercing disable in the Tusk as well. So I think Unity Gaming this time around, they're gonna have an even easier time, because this time around their lanes are actually stronger, or at least they're not gonna be losing them like last time.
Well, this is the game to decide a lot of fates. Do you believe in Unity upper bracket?
Yes, I do believe in Unity upper bracket. I think Neon are gonna be out after this one. Unity Gaming, they only have one real target in this game: kill the OD, or at least don't allow the OD to fight. And then the Tidehunter is just uncontested completely. He's always gonna get the Ravage off. Arena comes out, the Phantasm comes out. You use the Ravage, and suddenly the fight is just unwinnable for the opponent's side. Plus, as I mentioned, the ability to push out lanes for Neon.Atomic, it isn't there. They're gonna have to rely only on kills. And considering that the laning phase might not go as well as it did last time, it still can. I mean, Mars and the Willow can be pretty strong. The CK can do well in the lane, but you're not going to be murdering the enemies as much as you did. But it's going to come down to Neon.Atomic's lineup. Last time it was use your spells on every cooldown. This time around is have a good lane on the Mars, get a fast blink, and just continue killing people. That's how it has to be.
See if we got a first blood attempt as well, because Unity are going with 5 heroes towards the river. It is the Juggernaut leading the charge. Knight with his own Ops Ward, Miranda with a second. Miranda looking to place it on the cliff here. Smokes are running out. Hated, gonna be in front. Do we go Gush level 1? Charge with a bit of block. There we go. But the Gush is leveled up. Arrow is flying in, and that is our first blood secured for Unity.
He didn't even see the arrow coming in, because it was going over these three heroes that were like in a train going forward. Didn't even get the ward denied there. They knew what was up, because Silencer was staying there to block their movement. So they knew, okay, he has to have a ward, because it's still nighttime. He's not gonna see us in time, and he started running a little bit too early there, Hated. But if he did any later, it would have been an even easier grab.
Yeah, they are actually staying here with Xiao Yu and Law. Trying to make a wrap around his MKS. There is a ward placed down on the bounty rune, and as they see him rolling in, is Seri going for the spear just for the bounty rune? He is. Gonna pin him to the tree, and that is gonna be 3 picked up for Neon.Atomic. So even if they give away the first blood, they have an advantage of more gold as a team. And this is the time to make things happen, as the laning stage is gonna kick off. No room for mistakes.
Lucify starting off with the Blightstone. That is something that we don't see on the Dark Willow too often, but it just shows how aggressively they want to play. He is laning with the Mars, so the God's Rebuke will be doing more damage. And this bottom lane, I think, is the one to watch out for. How many times they're going to be able to kill Law, and if they'll be able to punish the Jug when he doesn't have the Blade Fury.
Yeah, Lucify already going on the Disruptor. Law is taking like 60 damage from the 52 base damage that the Willow has, because the minus armor, when applied, does a lot. It does a lot of work. Silencer versus the Mirana. Gonna be a trading battle between the two. And Silencer starting off with Glaives of Wisdom. So this is one of those 10% games.
It's against the Tide. That is what you want against the Tide. Your first 2 spells. I mean, it's not like he's gonna have the Kraken Shell super early, but you want to soften him up a bit, and this is the right approach. But he went for it. I really want him to attack this Tidehunter and not really trade with the Mirana. Mirana isn't the hero that you want to fight if you have the Glaives of Wisdom level 1.
Yeah, doesn't really help that much. We'll allow the Tidehunter will lose a lot of mana in the process if Silencer is going to be poking this hero, because the more int you steal, his mana pool diminishes. I'm not sure if he even gets that mana back when those stacks start to run out. I'm not entirely sure how the mechanic works.
He does. He does. It doesn't.
So it doesn't reduce the mana actually.
Yeah. They changed the Undying so that it doesn't return your HP, but overall the Dota mechanics work that it does once your intelligence come back.
Right. Salad's gonna get a courier snipe on a Hated. He also take a couple tower hits in the process here. Hated forced to use a salve already. This Morana is not allowing this silencer to hit the Tidehunter at all. He's constantly playing from behind.
He wants Zhao Yu to have a 1 versus 1 versus Cadilicious, and that's gonna be quite nice for the Tide. You're gonna be getting so much, and we already talked about the Tidehunter being a big problem later on down the line, and a great laning stage is only gonna make it worse.
Seri, Luzify. A pretty stable laning stage here. Early spin from MKS. Walking deep into the lane, wants to make sure he doesn't get speared away to secure the CS, and gets a bit of poke damage as well with that spin.
Neon.Atomic doing well in terms of CS here in the bottom lane. Seri, the natural. Mars, one of the best CSing heroes. If you're not that good at CSing, Mars or the Centaur are the offlaners for you, because their animation is just way too easy to use.
Where they get to poke the Tidehunter quite a lot here. Hated. He is gushed up. Taking big hits here, and will lose his life. And Zhao Yu, 5 HP. Chaos Ball. I'll secure the kill for the CK. He just challenged him into a Gauntlets challenge to get himself a victory while fighting against the Tidehunter. But no.
It wasn't accepted. He was a coward there. But yeah, that's not too bad for Atomic. They are getting the CS on the CK, killing the Tidehunter. Very important, trading the Silencer. I think Hated would do that any time of the day, and I think Tide is now going to be a little bit more careful when approaching the CK. Especially now, more points in Chaos Strike. Even with the Kraken Shell and the Echo Smash, the crits are going to hurt you.
Plus, you're going to need that lifesteal. Especially if the Tidehunter starts spamming Anchor Smash. Hated in a 2 versus 2 now as JG arrives. The Tusk is bullying him. Nice prison save. Will keep him alive up a little bit longer. Arcane Orb's going to be available, but the Starstorm connecting. Hated's going to drop first. Fairy Fire used just in case. And JG is going to have to start hitting Salad. And a pause being called out. Apparently a lag issue once again. At least they got time to fix it. If it was the Silencer, at least it looks like it's the Dark Willow. He disconnects.
That's weird. I mean, that's the second game in a row that approximately at the same time they are having some lag problems. Yeah, not that big of a deal. I actually expected
Harry with the convenience. Like, there's something fishy going on.
Yeah, like
somebody call 23 Savage.
I thought Knight was gonna stand his ground there and fight the OD, but yeah, OD has the Fairy Fire and the Magic Stick. Actually, he wins that one. Considering I was like, okay, he has the infused raindrops. The Astral isn't gonna kill him that easily, but yeah, now I see he actually needs to wait for his spells if he wants to get that kill. Morana went for a Clarity as well, and JG like, nope, you're not getting any mana back, because actually if he has enough mana for an arrow, he can keep the OD in place long enough for the cooldowns of the Tusk to come back.
He is getting closer to that level 6 on the OD, though not necessarily going to level up the hammer yet. Wants to max out the prison, start putting up some points into the orb. The OD is going to need a lot of time. He has lined up the Midas, which I do like a lot on a hero like OD, much more than the Meteor Hammer.
Yeah, Hammer is not great now, and there is Glimpse, Arrow, Snowball. 3 spells that can consistently just cancel that one out for you. Yeah, this OD is doing really well in the mid lane. Despite Knight getting the first blood in the early bottle, he hasn't been able to last it properly, and that's normal. I mean, OD against any melee hero is going to be having a good time.
Yeah, and also, as the Tusk went home to regenerate, Salad will take over some experience in mid. As long as he can actually get a CS or 2. However, he's only here for the presence, forcing out a bit of extra mana from the OD. And now it's his turn to walk all the way back home. Might just have to wait. If Knight wants to play aggressive here, he could trade a couple hits, force his bottle charges, and then Mirana TPs in for the refill. But it's going to have to happen right away, so I want to see if Knight actually wants to play aggressive now against JG.
He misses the shards.
He got the poke, but he didn't get the block. Yeah, he doesn't want to end up under the tower.
If you get the block, you use the snowball as well. But now you just use it, and nah, the Mirana is going bottom. They want the kills.
Law and Salad actually getting body blocked by the Disruptor, walks into the Bramble. Seri Elusify playing it safe, just retreating for the time being. Tidehunter getting to solo the lane. He knows he's uncontested in the lane. You talked about how beautiful this hero pick was. And this is probably one of the biggest reasons. He doesn't feel threatened in the lane at all.
Yeah, as soon as he got the chainmail, it all started for him quite nicely. Odie in the mid lane is in trouble.
That's gonna hurt. Knight finding the kill on JG. Elusify getting sent with the clips with Law. He is very far away from Knight and Salad, but the shard block almost on point. There's a small gap the Willow can slither through.
It's never easy to connect the shards there from the side. You never really know how far they're gonna go. It's not the same because you're usually just practicing to pull people in, and you don't really pay attention to how far the shards are gonna go. So blocking people out from going from the side, it's always very, very tough. So Knight attempted, but it wasn't even close.
4-1 for Unity. Neon.Atomic kept up a really good pace in kills the last game. In this one, they're going to have to build up a bit longer. CK is going to be active pretty early, but I'm just curious about this OD. When does he actually hit critical mass? How fast can he get there? How does he dodge the worst of Unity and keep himself strong?
He needs the blink on the Mars. That's the thing. He needs someone to keep people in place, and that's the Mars in this game. So blink initiation is needed.
He's building some stat items before he's rushing the Blink Dagger. Already with the Bracer, finishing Power Treads. Actually, Power Treads on Mars. Huh.
That's
always used to seeing face boots on this hero, but let's see. Power Treads does give him the extra stats and more attack speed, but right now it's just not giving him the extra movement speed required to run away from the Juggernaut. So, the nukes from Salad and Law combined with the Omni Slash and then the spin will lead to his death.
He doesn't believe in Scuddelicious, so he's being like, yeah, I'm gonna be carrying this one.
Why the Power Treads? How much better are they than the face boots in this game?
I don't think they're better than at all, because you're dealing with a lot of physical damage. So I was surprised as you that he decided to go that route. The only reason I see is he's afraid of the magical damage of the Blade Fury, but that extra couple of HP not gonna help you. It would be much better if you can outrun your opponents.
Yeah. Usually the mobility has always been key for the Mars. To catch people, you need to always position yourself for the spear, so that also involves movement speed. And in the end, you're just doing lockdown. Your straight up damage is usually buffed into your God's Rebuke. So he does have some extra stats, but is it really worth it? Well, we'll find out in the long run. It's not going to make a massive difference, but it is armor missing and traded off for extra HP.
And some attack speed as well.
And some attack speed.
Which, usually for the Mars, attack speed isn't really a factor because you're not really attacking that much. God's Rebuke is kind of the only time you're using the right clicks. But top lane, they are going to be gunning for Scuddelicious. The Smoke of the Tusk hasn't broken, so this is a dive.
Yep, and no Phantasm. He's going to have to do it the old-fashioned way and fight all the way. Here comes the Ravage. He's blown up. Scotty-licious down. Salad. He's here to look for more. Hated. He's dropping low on HP. Seri. He's got the arena. He's going to have to wait with that spear for a very long time. And Shaw, you beautiful movement. He is playing tag with Seri. Running around in circles. Roly-poly. And no spear stun. Allows him to live a lot longer. JG is now finally showing himself in here as well. He's got the prison. Drops the hammer.
Yeah, they're done. They're done chasing around with him. They understand how important this skill is. If it takes a little bit longer, the potential turnaround from Unity Gaming could be devastating. Good for them, though. Knight didn't have any mana, so he wasn't really looking to do so. But he found an Invis rune. I don't know if that was spotted. It was spotted that he was moving towards the bottom lane, so Skydalicious should know about this. If he dies right now, it's going to be disastrous.
Oh, yeah, his TP's on cooldown, too.
He'll get out.
Knight could just get himself a... oh, nice attempt. Okay, can't Phantasm himself on the other side, but MKS is still there. They will do a lot of damage onto Knight, but Knight still fighting back. Omni Slash will secure Skydalicious very, very likely here. Tries to armlet toggle, but not enough HP gained as MKS just throws a crit to the face, and that's going to be Skydalicious down for the second time inside a minute, and he's been topping net worth, so that allows everybody else to catch up to him now.
Without the crit, actually, you don't kill him there. Big mistake coming out from the Mirana. You should just use it exactly where he is, click on him, and just make sure, and it's gonna be Knight that needs to make sure that the arrow connects. But Sal was like trying to predict his movements, and the tusk was already there. But either way, in the end, it ends up working out well for Unity Gaming, but just a slight mistake that almost cost them the kill.
Yeah, no crit, no kill. Would have spoiled the whole fun. Skydalicious, you don't want to fall too behind on the CK. You start your early laning stage farming really well with this hero, and then you basically snowball for a few minutes. If that snowball comes to an end, if most of the time it feels like CKs are just running on the spot and they feel useless.
This is the type of game you need to be using your Phantasm for farm. Yeah, he immediately goes for it. If you're starting to fall a bit behind, even though it's not the case right now, but you need that Phantasm to be used all the time. That's a nice Moonlight Shadow. Neon.Atomic know that something is happening, and you can see this OD is staying always hidden in the trees, and Hated maybe poking his head a little bit. So you want to force out the enemies to go for you, go with the Astral Imprisonment, and then turn the fight around.
Yeah, I like that they're playing this, or placing the sentry between the towers, because this has usually been the area where a lot of players basically just rotate from behind, make their way here. So just being preemptive, as they did have an idea of the MLS.
Yep.
JG making a move. Mars is coming in. Is it enough? They've got the roots. Yep, they've got it. Beautiful. They got the combo. Now they just need to follow up and close out the kill. Snowball rolling in, taking him even deeper. He's got a haste rune though, and that haste and the bottle charges. Beautiful usement there, and still gonna get stunned. They need to get a little bit closer, but no. Absolutely beautiful usage of the bottle between the hits allows him to get just enough HP that he has 29 remaining at the end of it.
Salad made a slight mistake, didn't connect the arrow on the Mars. The reason why he didn't immediately use it, he didn't know if it was gonna be a 5-second TP for the Mars or a 3-second one. He didn't know what was happening there behind the tower. But it was a 3-second TP, then he doesn't get the arrow out. Seri uses the arena, and the Tusk almost dies. But luckily for him, he had the haste rune, and I mean, we saw just how close he was to death.
Very. Lucify pretty early with the Bedlam here, and...
It was actually late. It was actually late. The Tide moved next to him. I don't know if you were looking at him. Tide moved right next, past JG and Lucify, like after a couple of seconds, used the Bedlam.
I guess he is having some lag because he didn't react to it in time. Spear does not connect to a tree. JG unable to kill off the Tide Hunter. Does have Ravage. Gotta be careful for it. Knight and Xiaoyu, they could kill JG here if they get the Snowball to connect with the Ravage, and now definitely are gonna go for it. Ravage to close in the gap. Global Silence coming in. Right clicks are doing a lot of work here. JG with the Urn Tick still on top of him. Will get pinned down. Salad gets the right click in, squeezed in between. Now Hated, gonna get dived under the tower, and Xiaoyu and Knight will surround him. Take the Silencer down, open up the mid tier 1 tower, and into a 10-2 lead with a mid tower going down 14 minutes in.
And they see Skydalicious. The Omni Slash was used onto Skydalicious Illusion, so he did bait the enemies quite well with that once putting it into the triangle. He had a nice ward himself there, so does get himself out. But Neon.Atomic, you can just see how helpless they are against the Tide Hunter. What changes this is the Blink Dagger on the Mars. Not necessarily dealing with the Tide, but finding the backlines and killing these heroes, making sure that the OD can get the right hits in.
Don't want to get the wrong type of hits in. Lucify. Just get glimpsed by a Law. Law actually does get the glimpse before the Shadow Realm comes out, and now Hated is on the move. with Scottylicious. Long cast range for the CK. And he does do a lot of damage. Plus, he's got a lot of attack speed now as he's finished off the Echo Saber. So, CK is looking capable. He would love to get that level 12, the second point in his ulti, and then start Phantasm. He's gonna farm even faster.
He's again probably going to be using the Phantasm to get more farm. The problem with Neon.Atomic is that they're not opening up the map, and they lost all 3 of their tier 1. So now Mars gets the blink, but it's not going to be easy to find the right initiation. And Tidehunter is like, yeah, nope, I don't want to just be a fat frontliner because I'm up against the OD. I can't get blown up by this hero, so I want to be jumping in as well. So he gets the blink too.
Oh, good spear attempt, but MKS faster with the spin. Mars still has Arena. He doesn't have a spin to escape this time. Seri though, joking around a bit with the Juggernaut. They're doing very limited damage, but now when they finally stack up with multiple heroes, they get the Omni Slash, but it's jumping everywhere else than it's actually supposed to. And he's gonna spin TP away. Scottylicious trying to go for the kill. They got it! Oh, that was a close attempt, but that Echo Saber really makes a difference here.
With Unity Gaming having so many heroes in the vicinity, he didn't immediately go for a TP, even though it would have been a perfect way to do it there. I mean, you have the Tide on the bottom lane pretty deep into the lane. No one is touching him. You have to assume that everyone is close to you. So very weird that the Juggernaut just didn't immediately spin TP. This is something that is very good in this game because there's absolutely nothing to deal with that other than the heavy physical damage of the CK, and at that point he wasn't even there.
Man. 2K lead still for Unity, despite losing their Juggernaut there for the first time. But Atomic still holding on to their ground. They've lost their tier 1 towers, but they have a whole set of towers that they can still protect, and they have the lineup that is capable of moving around the map, trying to close out any opportunities for Unity to go for a push.
Gonna be a long time before Unity goes for any kind of a tier 2. It's farming time for them right now. The only time that you're gonna fight is with the Tidehunter, and even there you want to use the Ravage only if you're getting like 3 or 4 kills. So even 1 core kill, I don't think it's good enough for the Ravage, so they're just gonna hold on to it. So right now, it's getting the Manta on the Juggernaut, getting the Blink Deso on the Tusk. That is what they're gonna be working for, and it's up to Neon.Atomic to make plays around the map and push some towers. Again, it comes down to the Mars. They need the right initiation, they need the right heroes caught and killed.
See what hit them.
Knight. He's got this Invis rune popped in the bottom lane. Seri's gonna show himself. Is he gonna get a TP to assist him? Yes, he is, but that's gonna be a quick clear from Seri. Already moving out. Shards coming in for the block. Mars's blink has been cancelled. This also still on cooldown. Arrow coming up, but Lucify and Hated are gonna find the ward as they get the jump on him. And we're actually looking if there's going to be several heroes in the area, pop down the sentry, but instead they find the ward. They're going to get the fear onto the Tusk after the arena already landed from Seri, and with the OD, they've got the damage to take him down. Hated for the kill, and that's going to open up a tier 1 tower. But Xiaoyu already pushing in the top lane. CK teleporting. They've got the Silencer teleporting in. Now comes the OD as well. They're all leaving the bottom lane for another kill in the top lane, and this Unity is going to be in a bit of trouble. But the Ravage turnaround. MKS is coming in as well. They want the Silencer for themselves, and the Static Storm almost enough Thunderstrike. The Glimpses should be finishing him, but JG with the prison, and Hated will stay alive. Ravage has been forced.
Yep, that's very important that they did do so. That was though dangerous for a second. I thought MKS was gonna be there in time, but no, he didn't start running. I think there was a little bit of a lack in communication between him and Xiaoyu. Xiaoyu not saying, yo, if they commit on me, I'm gonna use this Ravage and then you can kill them, because that would have been a perfect place to just Omni Slash and maybe even kill the CK. But in the end, Unity Gaming, they protect all of their towers. They've lost only the Tusk. It was a good streak, and Knight though is having a bad game in terms of net worth. He was 4-0, but in terms of getting CS, it's not looking the greatest. But still, it's now up to Neon.Atomic again to punish the lack of Ravage. Xiaoyu is still not the greatest of targets to go for.
Yeah, Xiaoyu getting prisoned up here, but not really gonna have much of an effect.
He pinged out the ward. He didn't see, he saw the OD on his own vision, and he just ran straight towards him. So Xiaoyu is gonna know that there's a ward in the vicinity.
Yeah.
Though he picked out the cliff,
Pretty
it is
sus.
in a it is in a pretty good spot not to get the warded anytime soon.
All of the lanes are being pushed in quite heavily, though, but at least they get the tier 1 from the bot lane. And Odie, at least he can get his 20-minute power treads.
I think he gets the blink.
I mean, he needs the blink, yeah. I think he's actually just saving straight for the blink. He's so close to it, might as well. It's going to be a bigger buy for him. I'm still curious about the power treads on this Mars. Like, I still don't know if it's good or not. At least it's given him the extra stats to survive these fights, but really it's just like less than 200 HP more. Maybe it does make a difference.
Until I get into gameplay of Mars with a couple of power treads, I won't be able to tell you, because from this game we're not really gonna be seeing too much. It still comes down to Seri getting the right initiations. It doesn't really matter which boosts he has.
Moonlight Shadow has been forced out, and they're going all in on this Juggernaut illusion. Scotty, he pops his Phantasm for it too. He thought he found the right jug, and even microed it to run away.
I mean, they returned the favor once the Omni Slash was used on the CK illusion, and it just wasted the Omni Slash there. So it does make sense that you're gonna have to do that to the Juggernaut. So Unity Gaming, now when they know that
Blink
there's
Ravage.
a couple of spells missing, they're going forward.
Blink Ravage is up. Just need to land it on the spot. Right under a ward. They see OD. They see Lucify. They want Scotty maybe, or any big core. The Bramble is really good though. Scotty gonna get stunned up. Here comes the Arena. Turn around with the Ravage. Scotty Licious getting hit in onto Knight. Knight going down. So as an arrow coming up with the BKB will allow Scotty Licious to run away. The Arena has already surrendered his course. Law. Scotty Licious trying to pull the Disruptor from the high ground. Not quite gonna get the catch for it. The stun catches too. It's the Mirana and the Tide. Lucify, low on HP.
MKS.
Shadow Realm, he's gonna die inside because the spin is too powerful. Blink coming in from Xiaoyu onto Hated. Hated gonna take another arrow to the face. He's also down. 2 casualties. And the rest of Unity, they just assert dominance in this area.
Neon.Atomic baited that fight out quite nicely, but the thing is, after the BKB ran its course in the CK, they didn't have anything else left to fight with, and they had to be careful of the Disruptor Static Storm. But what was really cool in that fight, that MKS used the Manta style, and he has a button for one of his Manta illusions. He moves it to the side and goes for the Dark Willow with the real hero and then one illusion. He gets 2 crits in, Dark Willow gets super low, and then he kills her with the spin. If that was an illusion, I mean, the Dark Willow thought it was an illusion, it wouldn't be doing that much damage, but they go straight into the road. Neon.Atomic are ready. They're gonna be coming, not really in time, but they can catch them on the retreat.
See if they do. Arena 15. No OD Hammer. They're just as fast as they are on the other side, and oh, they're so afraid. Man, smoke gives you so much confidence, but as soon as your smokes pop and you see nobody, it turns into instant fear. Back, 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 back. It's like comms are just going like, no, 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 no.
Yeah, it's insane. Even, you know, it comes from pubs. In pubs, if you, people are like, we can't fight. And then you smoke them, and literally they start running towards the enemies. Like, suddenly they feel like they're super overpowered. But yeah, that smoke from Neon.Atomic, it was just a couple of seconds too late. It doesn't matter that you don't get into the pit in time. It's very hard to fight when you're all in the pit, because your enemies are gonna know exactly from which side you're coming in, and they can jump you. But yeah, unfortunately for Neon.Atomic, they were a couple of seconds too late, and Unity Gaming do manage to get themselves out in time.
Oh, Xiaoyu, he might just run into the Willow here in the trees. Lucify, is the juke spot good enough? The arrow's going to be flying in, almost catches it. This you're going to be a Static Storm placed on top of the Willow, so no fear, no nothing coming out. That is a 90-second cooldown, though. It is a level 1 Static Storm.
I still don't know why he didn't TP out. I mean, he had the Shadow Realm, the arrow missed him, and that's it. Nothing else can really get on top of you, so or can stop your TP.
Optimism.
Yeah, that has to be that's the only reason, you know. Sometimes you just forget.
Yeah, someone might say he was courageous to stay. Someone might say it was just foolhardiness. Ain't the difference. There's a fine line between courage and madness.
But, anyways, Unity Gaming, what they did right now, they forced out TPs on top, movements as well, and now they can claim the bottom part of the map, something they couldn't do for the, let's say, past 15 minutes. They can only get a pick off here and there, and, oh, Knight is in trouble, but the Mirana is there. Can she save him in time?
At least one hero being prisoned up. It is the Mirana as they take down Knight, force out the MLS, and they're coming into the bottom lane with speed and haste. They need to get out. There's an arrow available. Oh, JG will catch it. Scottylicious might be able to get out, but it's still going to be a core going down. He can buy some time with the prison. He's actually going to turn around on Salad and try to look for a kill on the Mirana. He will still go down. There's the Yules to save Salad. But man, did he just walk into that arrow. No vision whatsoever in the tree line. And then suddenly, you can see if you're turning your head around when you're running away from Freddy in Friday the 13th, and you see an arrow coming your way. It lands on you, and you're paralyzed.
There's nothing you can do about it. Unity Gaming, they do overtake the bottom part of the map, which is the goal of the move overall. But what ends up surprising them is the Shadow Blade of the CK. It kills their core, and Knight is not going to be too happy about it. So at least Neon.Atomic gets something, and they slow down their enemies a bit. Phantasm Illusions try to cut the wave, not going to be happening, so another tier 2 is down.
Seri with Knight right next to him. He drops down the arena. Snowball still keeps him inside. Arrow flies in. Mars is going to catch it. Scottylicious fighting a battle, which he might not necessarily be able to win. And that's another core being sacked for Atomic. It's going to be Seri. He spears away Tidehunter. Does Salad have the damage? No, it's actually going to go out. And Hated will fall to MKS. That's a support that they'll give away. But it's a global silence still on cooldown. An arena used down for 70 seconds. It's an opening for Unity to take this mid-tier 1 tower.
It wouldn't be too bad for Neon.Atomic. They're dropping the BKBs for Ravage. The problem is that they cannot mount up a defense for a tier 2. That means there's no more parts of the map that you can go out, that you can safely TP to. You're always gonna have to be together, and that's gonna hinder your ability to push out the lanes even further. So now everything kind of relies on Scottylicious CK with the Shadow Blade finding those pickoffs, because the Mars can't do it any longer. It's gonna be way too hard, and I'm really happy that Scottylicious did go for this one, because it gives them some presence on the map. And they're gonna try to go for Knight again. Nah, they TP out just before he comes.
Yeah, there's still some openers. I think one of the best things that they can do is try to silence the Tidehunter, despite him having the Lotus Orb.
And the Kraken Shell.
And the Kraken Shell. But if you don't do any damage to him, you just orchid him and leave him alone. But he's gonna have to use the Lotus Orb to purge it off. If he uses it on somebody else, say if OD is trying to prison someone, that leaves the Tidehunter kind of open, so you can't use Ravage for 5 to 6 seconds.
Too much
This
AoE.
expires. Tendril flies right past. Seri found for the BKB used, and he's going to start tanking that Omni Slash. Can he pull the Juggernaut closer? He gets to the creep wave. It's disjointed. Getting a bit lucky there. I mean, he was timing to get to the creep wave, but I don't think he was necessarily planning it to go that way. He probably thought he was going to almost die, maybe drop the arena and trap the Juggernaut, but the creep wave helps him out.
Juggernaut with the Omni just doesn't do enough damage to the BKB. You only have the Mjolnir on your side for the damage output, and that is all magical damage. So very nicely done there by the Mars, knowing that even if they pull him back with the glimpse, that he can just use the BKB and run out. There just isn't enough damage there to finish him off, especially if the Tusk isn't in the vicinity. That's the only physical damage coming out from Unity Gaming right now. Only huge amount.
28 minutes in. Unity still holding on to their upper bracket dreams. They played quite a marathon of series these last few days, as they had the least games played out of any other team. They played a series yesterday with a 2-0. They got stomped by Fnatic earlier on. Now might be able to turn this still into their advantage. All they needed was 2 wins today. They've got 1, and they have 1 final game remaining. Law goes for the Static Storm instead of the Glimpse.
I was about to say misclick, but you know, it's not like the buttons are next to each other. So yeah, big mistake. But still, he did TP out.
It is a disruptor. You can press all 4 buttons at the same time. But not gonna happen this time. Salad is gonna go down. He's coming in with a buyback. He can TP to the outpost. Scottylicious has Phantasm. He's still got plenty of HP. They could still reinitiate. Well, Night Shadow on the other side. They're playing under their vision. Sentry, Knight spotted. He's gonna get stunned up by Scottylicious. He's gonna take the fight. The Fear comes out as well, and they do have him trapped inside. With the Fears, they're gonna be taking him down. JG with the BKB on the sidelines. They won't see any other heroes from Unity as they decide to back out.
Xiaoyu is being a little bit too trigger lucky on his Ravage. He needs to wait for MKS to get close. Especially, they need to have the Omni.
Oh, Seri sees an opener here. They revealed themselves in the lane, and Seri is gonna jump in. They will still keep him alive. He pops his BKB by some time. Xiaoyu taking heavy damage, and the Omni slash on JG. JG is gonna get taken down by the Omni by MKS. Scotty Licious hunting down Salad. He knows the Mirana is a nuisance, but he also needs to focus on other targets. There's so many heroes. Gets bashed up by MKS. The arrow from Salad clears him out. Hated gonna go down to Neon.Atomic. They are in absolute shambles now after this team fight because they died right next to their base. They can push high ground here. They've got the creep wave. They've got every hero remaining, Harry. And Seri dies. Oh no. Oh no.
He forgot there's this guy that died at the start of the fight, and he just respawned as you were pushing out the mid lane. Yeah, this is the lane of Rax for sure. Neon.Atomic are not gonna have the heroes. A little bit of unluck there for Neon.Atomic. OD uses the Astral on the Tide just to be able to ignore him, and the Omni Slash out of all the units goes towards him. Even with the 4 stats, with everything, you're not going to be able to escape that one, and MKS just finishes him off. Then he gets a lucky bash onto Lucify, and he gets another kill as well. This Juggernaut has really been doing a good job. Oh, they're not focusing on their axes.
I mean, if they keep dying one by one, that's another 40 seconds without the hero with the fear. They finished off the melee racks. They're happy with it. They can leave the range alive. They've done the damage.
Roche is up, and they have
JG just BKB'd in mids. He wants this night kill. Doesn't have a hammer. He's going to blink in aggressively, but that BKB has just run its course. The tendrils almost connecting on the OD. They're still hunting for him. Xiaoyu with the blink in. He's got the OD trap for a moment. MLS blinking from Knight. The shard block coming out as well. Heavy hit from the Deso. The global silence ain't going to do enough here. They still got themselves the Tusk. The Tusk is in trouble. MKS outside of the arena. Now rolling in. Scotty Licious. He pops the Phantasm. It's a must-go fight. Not going to happen. Neon.Atomic are about to get knocked out from the tournament, and Unity Gaming heading towards the upper bracket. Another victory for them with the both cores taken down. They're just too strong. They're out-leveled. They're out-farmed. They're outplayed.
They don't have much to play with. There was the secondary. The Tidehunter didn't have mana for the Ravage. It ended up being super good for them. MKS gets the bash on the Chaos Knight and then easily finishes him off. That was weird there. It looked like Jugger couldn't go through the arena with the Blade Fury. He was staying right outside of it. I don't know if maybe he just went into the arena wall without the Blade Fury, then he popped it and he then just stayed on the side and wasn't really clicking on it, because that's not how it should work. But yeah, this game is over. Neon.Atomic are eliminated, but they're gonna fight until the end, because you're not gonna go down without a fight. Let's go, Neon.Atomic. That one last fight of the BTS Pro Series is gonna come out right now.
MKS already forcing out the spin. They got the tendrils connecting onto Seri. Seri 60 seconds for the arena to be back up at night. It's going to take down Hated. Snowballing towards JG. JG trying to get to the fountain. The shards are going to be there. The BKB popped as well. Willow trapped by 4 separate heroes. And that is 3 heroes remaining. Scotty Licious, silence on the Mirana. Chaos Ball, 3 seconds done. Ravage from Xiaoyu. And the GG call comes out as they run out of members. The Ancient's finally gone. And that is the end of the road for Neon.Atomic. Lilgun, they're probably wiping sweat off of their foreheads right now because they get to play the playoffs without playing a single game today.
And Neon.Atomic, boy, they had the game number 1. They had it in their hands. And then just a couple of unfortunate things happened, plus Unity Gaming with beautiful moments. In this game too, I think they were severely outdrafted. It just looked impossible for them. I have to say, Unity Gaming, their spell usage hasn't been like amazing in this game. Movements, I have to praise them. They were pretty good. But spell usage wasn't like insane. And still, Xiaoyu uses the Ravage. It doesn't kill anyone. You lose 2 heroes and you're still winning the fights. It just goes to show that Neon.Atomic, in this game, they had no answer to the Tide, and Juggernaut at one point became so powerful that he started chopping everyone down. So it was a very easy game for Unity Gaming from start to finish. It looked like they had it in their hands.
It did. Even if it looked like a repeat draft at the start, and Neon.Atomic could have taken the same approach that they did in game number 1. They shifted around the draft a little bit. I like the idea of the CK, but it never looked good once that Tidehunter came out right after. It just, you know, lane counter, team fight counter, and they couldn't do anything to the hero. You were absolutely right, Harry. They had nothing against that Tidehunter this game.
They picked the OD against him, but the thing is, then your lanes were always pushed in, and the Tide always knew where the OD was, so was never gonna be caught by him by surprise, and that made the game for Zhao Yu so easy. You could see sometimes he's like blink ravage, like I have no teammates, but it doesn't matter. He just walks out. There's absolutely no chance of the enemies to kill him.
And that closes it out. We have our final standings for the playoffs. And basically, they are as follows. So since this being a 2-0 series for Unity, it means that Army Geniuses take seed 1, followed by Geek Fam, Fnatic, and Unity Gaming to the upper bracket, taking the 4th place. Lower bracket's going to be Purple Paradox, Spawn Team, Execration, and Lil Gun. And the bottom 2 eliminated from the groups, Neon.Atomic and Xerxia. They are out. We say goodbye to them. And tomorrow is a break day. So you all people, you get to do something different and rest up and get your anticipation built up. Because the BTS Pro Series Season 13 playoffs start on Tuesday. And it's going to be a rollout. 2 best of 3s per day. And exciting Dota stuff going to be happening. It is prep for the DPC. So don't miss out on the Dota that's going to be happening next week. Big thanks to everybody. We're basically done casting for this week. We're going to be back next week with Harry. We're going to be do 2 days of BO3s. Aries and Danog, maybe 343. They're going to be back as well to cast on separate days. And we've had a lot of fun. We've seen very different gameplay here at the Pro Series. I think it felt like a group. Like you said before, Harry, I'm going to quote you on this. Anybody could beat anybody.
Harry Freak 2022.
Hindsight.
Yeah, I mean BTS Pro Series is, especially in Southeast Asia. Sometimes I follow some American matches as well, but Southeast Asia is always so interesting to watch. It is just so many different strategies, especially now when we get a new patch. It's after TI, all of the team shuffles. You get Dota from different perspectives, but I think finally we're gonna have something to round it out in the playoffs. So I'm looking forward to even higher level of Dota and hoping that every single team that made it to the playoffs has found their gameplay, so we can see them shine in the best possible light.
That's it for us. We're going to see you guys in 2 days to continue with some more BTS Pro Series playoffs time. So until then, everybody, take care of yourselves. Good night and bye-bye.